Today we're going to be exposing how Brez Scales actually makes his money and how he can buy all of his supercars. This is coming from somebody who's worked with people from his team. So if there's anybody that knows the facts, it's going to be me. Now we're going to be exposing his whole content strategy, his whole funnel, and also his booking process so you guys can actually do this for yourself. So I can teach you how to run a proper high ticket info business. So let's just jump right in. I'm not a guy for intros, so let's just break it down. First of all, I want to kind of give you guys a quick brief just so you actually understand. I know Brez Scales is promoting freelance brand scaling, and that's the business model that he's teaching. But that is not the way he's actually making most of his money. Just to make that clear, you can see a lot of these guys teaching business models that they've made money with initially, but it's not actually what's buying them all of these cars that you see right here. Same thing with TGR, same thing with Shelby Sapp. All these people, they're promoting a business model that has made them money, but they all pivot away from the business model in the first place and then move on into something called high ticket info. High ticket info, they're basically just glorified course sellers, kind of promoting it in a different type of way through funnels and whatnot, which is what we're going to be exposing in this video. So just understand this. They're not actually making money from freelance brand scaling, but he's actually like selling his info product, and that's the way he makes most of his money. So let's expose his funnel first of all, right? And we need to understand traffic because that's the way he's going to get people in to buy his info product. So when it comes to traffic, first things first, he gets most of his traffic from Instagram and also from TikTok. So let's just break both of those down since he's kind of doing a little bit similar content on both. But essentially you can see on his Instagram, he's amassed 1 million followers at this point, which is actually very, very good. And on TikTok, he has about 750K. So that's huge. He has amassed a following of close to 2 million followers, which is pretty sick. Let's be real. So now let's understand the content he's posting on these platforms so you guys can see how he's getting his leads in. Main thing is we need to understand the content strategy. So what type of content is he actually posting? Well, I like to put it into 3 different topics. The first one's going to be lifestyle / viral type of content. Then we have value, and then we also have funny, humor, whatever you want to call it, type of content. So let's break each of these down so you guys understand why this is important to actually get proper leads in. First things first, lifestyle / viral type of content is very important because it's going to get eyeballs and it's going to get you discovered as well. I like to put it this way. People are never going to buy something from you if they don't know who you are. If they don't trust you, then they're never going to actually commit to whipping out their card and buying something from you, right? You need to be seen and you need to be trusted. That's very, very important for anybody to buy from you, especially nowadays in 2025. Nobody's trusting these course sellers. Nobody's trusting anybody. So we kind of need to build some sort of trust with our audience if we want to be able to sell something, especially in high ticket info. Now, the reason why he's posting lifestyle and viral type of content is like I was about to say, this way he's actually getting discovered and is getting eyeballs on himself, which means people that have never seen him are all of a sudden going to see a guy with all these red cars and supercars and whatnot, going to think like, yo, who's this guy? Then they're going to go in, look at more of his content, and that's where they see the value-based content and the funny type of content. Okay, so understand that all of these need to be in line and kind of sync together for anybody to actually make this work. If he was just posting lifestyle content and let's just say funny type of content with no value, he'd just have an Instagram with a bunch of views and followers, but he would actually never really make any money because nobody sees any other value from him rather than and just like pure entertainment, right? So that's why he has the value thing in there so he can actually make money as well. Now, that's the lifestyle and viral type of content. It's just basic lifestyle videos like with his car, traveling, making money, whatever it might be, right? Super like generic, but stuff that will go viral for sure. Then we have funny type of content as well. This is super key to actually nurture that audience even more and get them to like him, because again, we can do the same drill. If we remove the funny type of thing, we just have lifestyle and value-based content, he's gonna get a bunch of eyeballs, and then he's gonna get people to understand that, yo, this guy's like, he knows what he's talking about, he like has some value. But nobody really likes him because he's not funny, he's not charismatic, he doesn't have any aura, right? So the funny type of content is very important because it's actually gonna make people, I guess, feel like they're a little bit more relatable to him, right? Because the lifestyle thing is like, yo, that's super sick. He has all these cars. I don't have that shit. I want that too. And then I realized, yo, this is just a funny dude that's like 24 years old, just as old as me, making funny ass jokes on IG. Like, I can relate to this guy. This guy's funny. I like him. He's posting funny content to get to be likable. Very, very important to understand. Again, it's just going to build that trust, which eventually is going to have somebody buy later down the line. So that's why he has the funny type of content in there. With this, obviously, he needs the value-based content to actually give some sort of value to the guys. You see people all the time just like propping, just like Alex Hormozi teaches everybody, just like pump them with value. It's like, yeah, you have so much value, you have so much knowledge, we know that you know what you're talking about, but I don't really like you, dude. Like, I don't want to buy something from somebody I don't like, right? And that's why this formula of these three types of content is so key, because this is what's going to get somebody to buy. It's like they're going to see you and they're going to like you, they're going to trust you, and then boom, they whip out their credit card and then actually want to buy something from you. So remember, you need all three to actually get, like, have your audience be more relatable and also trustworthy. So he's utilizing this content strategy in a very good way. You can see it's literally giving him 1 million followers over here and 750 on TikTok. So it's working very, very well. The funny content is also like just like jokes, also some brain rot content. You see some of that stuff from TJR as well. But also what he's utilizing, which I find very, very interesting, and which is something I really want to cover for you guys, is also how he's utilizing clipping. This is probably like very, very cool to see. And it's also very interesting from a guy doing something in high ticket info. The reason why is because you see a bunch of clipping being done from famous streamers and guys like that want to get a bunch of eyeballs and views on them. The reason why this is so cool to see from somebody like Brez is because all of these clippers are usually done with, like I said, the Twitch streamers and all these streamers just like getting a bunch of clips. So people join their stream because they see all these funny ass clips. So they probably think, oh, these streams are super funny. And then they join the streams and then they subscribe to Twitch or Rumble, whatever, right? Here's the thing. Brez is not like a streamer or anything. So he's having all these clips just like from his YouTubes and from his Instagrams and whatnot. And this is just generating him so many views. And it's just like helping him gain more traction. And where's that traction going to go? Well, it's going to go back to his Instagram and TikTok, which is where he's going to funnel them into his high ticket info offer anyway, right? So you guys can see that the clipping is actually like crazy because he has like 44,000 members just clipping his stuff. Now, obviously not everybody in here is like good at clipping or whatnot. People can just like join, right? But he has 44,000 members, which means at least somebody in here is like clipping at a high level. And the reason why this is okay is you can literally see over here, there's so many Brez Clips accounts with like a huge following as well. Like they have close to 1 million followers, and that is just like a fucking clipping page, which means he's getting so many views off of this. And that just like all generates back into his stuff so he can have them in the funnel, right? That's the crazy thing. So he has all these people clipping for him, and then he just like gets more views, gets more followers and all this stuff, and then he just like gets them to the to IG, to the TikTok, and from there he obviously they see all this type of content, and now it just makes him more relatable and more trustworthy. So once he's kind of had them through IG and whatnot, he funnels pretty much everybody over to his YouTube. And this in 2025, moving into 2026 and whatever, this is the meta 100%. The reason why is because on YouTube, this is where he can nurture and really, really build that trust and understanding with his audience. It's so key nowadays because if you guys have seen this study, which is kind of going viral or whatever, especially with the guys in the info space. I think it's from Google actually. They said that people need to watch at least like 7 hours of your content before they're ever gonna buy something from you, especially like a high ticket offer, right? So if you guys actually pay attention to this, this is so key. Because why does he send it to YouTube? Well, he can build a real connection and nurture his audience even more. Why? Because it's longer form videos. If he wants to get to 7 hours, if he wants to get to 7 hours of watch time, he needs longer videos than short Instagram reels and TikTok clips, right? So in here, you can literally see 26 minutes, 37 minutes, 39 minutes. Like if a person jumps on and watches all these 3 videos in a row, let's just like hypothetically say that, they've already watched almost 2 hours of him just by watching that, instead of watching hundreds of Instagram reels and hundreds of TikToks, which is going to take them such a long time, rather than just like watching a couple of YouTube videos in a row and all of a sudden they've just amassed 7 hours, right? That's the crazy part. So with this, he builds real trust with his audience. Now that people actually not just see clips, but they see what he's doing, how he's driving the cars, what he's doing, and all of this, people can really see, okay, this guy is not just like talking out of his ass on Instagram or TikTok. He actually has a proper proof of concept, because people can see in the YouTube videos, this guy's actually driving a cool car. Super, I want this lifestyle. He knows what he's talking about. They're really starting to build a real connection with him. They can see him talking for a longer period of time. They're building up like real trust with him as well. And then he gets that watch time. And whenever people watch 7+ hours, you're kind of going to feel like you know the guy, even though you never spoken to him, right? So this way, they're really building up that trust. And from here, he's even like actually funneling people into his like information channel. He's not as consistent on this as he is on the other ones, but essentially this is just to nurture people even more, just deeper into his business model. So if everybody sees his lifestyle content and sees all that, but they don't really know what his business model is or whatnot, he has like this pure business channel, which people are going to see because they're going to get it recommended anyway. So from there, they're like, holy shit, this guy like really knows what he's talking about. It's just deeper into his business model. And the reason why this is actually super key is because I like to call this essentially just like a disguised VSL. So if you guys don't know what a VSL is, it essentially just stands for a video sales letter. And this is what you usually use in your funnels. But the reason why he has it on this YouTube channel is because all the people that want to see more into his business model, how he's making all his money and whatnot, he can just make videos that are very simple VSLs, basically just giving them a teaser of what he's doing, kind of giving some info, but not sharing everything, and then just funneling that into his actual funnel and VSL. So these are all basically just disguised VSL, same as all the clips, because the clips are just like gonna get him more traction. They're gonna go through this whole thing, end up on his YouTube and be like, yo, what the fuck? How is this guy making 75K? And then they're just like, okay, now I understand, but I don't understand everything. I need more. So from here, this is really where like you just looked into the description, join brezscales.com, and that's where the sauce happens, right? So after all this whole process, you're watching a YouTube video, you're going to check the description, you see, okay, I'm just going to click this link because I want to learn more, right? He has the same link on IG as well, by the way, for the people that are like not really on his YouTube like that. But essentially, he's just nurturing everybody from this ROAS Brez and from YouTube and from IG and all over to YouTube, just so like that's usually where they click the link. So eventually, like you get some bits and pieces and they want to be like, okay, I see what this is. I want to learn more about freelance brand scaling. And now the funnel really starts, right? So from here, you're going to be taken to this page, which is basically his VSL. And he basically just like says it as a free training and whatnot. So people are going to be like not entitled, but people like they're going to get enticed, to see more, right? Because they want to actually get some training on how to do this. Now, you're going to unlock the free training. You're going to click this, and then you're not going to be able to watch the video because you need to put in your information. This is very important for sales reps. because he's gonna have setters and a sales team contact you to actually get you booked in on a call for the offer. So you need to fill in this information before you can even get the video, which is the most important thing. So you fill this in. And then, by the way, a super little cool thing he has also added is if you try to fill in all the information and not click this, you're going to get prompted with this, like, please, you have to click this. Otherwise, you can't get the free training. So you have to click this. And this is very important because otherwise the sales team wouldn't be able to contact you. So you need to click this button right here. From there, you're going to get this page right here, which is basically just to apply. He has a bunch of testimonials, which are very key because it builds reputation, right? So you want to make sure that if you have just like pump that shit up with testimonials, it's really just given a lot of proof of concept that what he does actually works. If you like don't believe just him, you actually want to see it from others. He has plenty of testimonials in there so people can actually understand that this is not something just he has done, but it also has a real proof of concept, right? From here, he's going to have people apply. So you just apply down below. You put in your email. From the email, he's going to ask a financial question. Financial questions are very, very important because you don't want to be booking the calendar with a bunch of unqualified leads, okay? Now, I've worked on offers where you get a bunch of unqualified leads, and I've been on offers where you only get qualified leads. You don't want to be spamming the calendar with unqualified leads because you're just wasting time and nobody's really happy. And I really like the way he did this because he's very transparent about this. It's so cool to see because the question is basically how much do you have set aside to see if we can work with you, right? And then he has 0 to 1,500 and just says, can't afford it, sorry. Which is basically just like entailing that if you put this in, you actually can't afford the mentorship and we can't work with you, right? So that's going to be like, oh shit, I need at least $1,500 to actually make this work, right? So then he has underneath 1,500 to 3K need a payment plan. That's like, okay, so there's actually options for a payment plan as well. And then it's like 3 to 5K ready to go right now, which means, okay, if I had 3+K, looks like I can actually get going right away. And if it's 5K plus, I'm looking to get as much help as possible, right? So this is really, really cool to see from somebody like Brez because usually people just have a direct calendar booking or just like some simple financial question. But in here, he literally just like tells you if you have less than $1,500, we can help you. So he's not spamming the calendar with unqualified leads, but he probably has a downsell or whatnot. So this way, you just take the right one and leads can already get somewhat of a understanding that this is something that's going to be a financial investment, right? The worst part is getting a lead on the call that doesn't even understand that this is something they need to buy. When people think shit is free and stuff, and it's like, oh, I thought I needed 5K to like run this business, but no, you need 5K to join the mentorship, right? So this is just like already foreshadowing this to the lead that they need to show up on the call with money, which is like a super cool thing. Yeah, maybe you're going to get people lying and maybe you're going to get a little bit less bookings because people see this and they're like, ah, nah, fuck it. But you're going to get more high quality leads anyway. From here, he says that just a heads up, you're going to get a phone call within the next 2 minutes. This is also super key because usually when a setter tries to call some of these leads, you know, people just don't want to pick up because it's like a random number you've never seen. This way, he just like tells them right away, okay, you're applied. Now you're going to get a phone call from one of our coaches, which is basically just like an appointment setter that's calling up to book the appointment and qualify the person even more. So from here, you're going to get the page where he says, yo, in the next 2 minutes, you're going to get a phone call. And this is also super cool because Brez is actually talking about this himself and just like builds that trust. Then he also says, usually there's a bunch of questions you might have and you would want to do your due diligence and whatnot before the call. So let me help you with that. I'm going to leave a couple frequently asked questions below. Please read them so you're not lost before the meeting. And this is also key because now people can't jump on the call and just say, oh, I need to think about it. They already have the answers to the questions they usually need to think about. So he just like puts them right below. In the meantime, you have an appointment setter that's going to call him up. He's going to qualify him. If you guys have no idea how an appointment setter works, he basically just asks him a couple more qualifying questions, just doubles down on the financial part just to make sure the person that has filled this in is actually legit, has the money, wants to make this change, etc., etc. And if he's a good fit, the appointment setter is going to book him in on the calendar. From there, a closer is going to jump on a chat with the prospect, close them, and obviously, like it said in the form, 3 to 5K are good to go, which means probably a 5K offer. From there, $5,000 right in his account. Get a couple of those closes per day. You're making 20K a day, right? Not that hard to get a Lambo later down the line if that's what you're doing every single day. So this is pretty much how they're scaling up to. This is how Brez Scales is making over 7 figures a month doing this. It's a very simple funnel, but what you want to take away from this is that it's all calculated and also very direct, which means everything is working together. This is what I wanted you guys to take away with this, because you can see that it's all leading to this same funnel right here, which kind of takes you through the whole process right here, but it's all leading to the same. So all of his traffic on Instagram can either book from Instagram, and if not, he's going to lead them over to YouTube. On TikTok as well, he's going to lead them over to YouTube. In all of his content, he makes sure that they actually trust him and they're relatable to him. Folds them over to YouTube. From YouTube, what does he do? He builds up the audience, nurtures them, and from there, it's only inevitable in a matter of time until they click the link down below, which all gets them there. If they're only on IG, they're going to click the IG description, link, whatever, have the free training right here. It's all leading to this simple funnel that he has, which means you don't have a link tree or 1,000 different links and whatnot. All you do, you just funnel them to your content so you can nurture them even more. And from the nurtured content, you're getting them to the funnel. From the funnel, you're getting them on the calendar. From the calendar, you're jumping on a meeting. From the meeting, you close them. It's as simple as that. Hope you guys found some value in this video. If you do, please, please check the description. I will have a link to my Instagram. So if you have any questions, just DM me. I'm happy to help with whatever it might be. Other than that, thank you guys for watching and catch you guys next time.